Welcome back, everybody. The History Guy here. This is episode 4, playing as the Soviet Union, a reborn Soviet Union in Hearts of Iron 4 Millennium Day, or Millennium Dawn, which is a modern day mod for Hearts of Iron 4. And if you have not seen the first 3 episodes, there is a link in the description below that will take you back to episode 1. You can watch those to get caught up. I am now in April 2003. We've begun to take over some of the former Soviet republics, most notably Ukraine and Kazakhstan, which are the 2 big ones that I kind of took out. For the most part, I don't think I'm going to go after the others right now. I just don't have a lot to gain by that. I don't need the resources. Mainly what I want to focus on now is building up my army and working on getting some alliances, because I can't do this by myself. Most notably if I end up going to war with NATO. Now, I am currently kind of involved in this little kind of deal with the Baltic states, which began in the last episode, because Sweden declared war on a couple of them. And so then I declared war to kind of jump in and take the territory before they could. So I may, as of yet, end up at war with Sweden. We'll see if that happens or not as we go along. All right, June of 2003, Estonia has surrendered in their war. And so let's kind of see where that places things as far as the wars go. There's still the Estonian-Soviet war going on, which really now just becomes between me and Sweden. But because nobody has called me into the war against Sweden, I don't actually get to fight against Sweden directly. So we'll see if that eventually happens. I've moved all my troops to the border now here on the outside of Latvia. So not a lot happening right now with all of that. I'm about to finish up trade with the East. And then I'm just going to start working on, I think, seeking Pakistani friendship. And then we'll work on modernizing our military. There's really not a lot else I need to do right now. Or that I can do, for that matter. Oh, we can do economic intervention. Let's go ahead and do that first. Okay, so now Latvia, has called me into the war with Sweden. So now we'll be at war with Sweden. So of course that kind of changes things. We can go ahead and invite Lithuania to our faction. And now we gotta get set up for that. There's one other thing I want to do in the meantime here. Political advisor. I want to add one. An ideological crusader is going to give me a 175% bonus to same ideology monthly opinion. So that'll start making me better friends with the other communist powers, which is kind of the direction I'm trying to go here. So now we just need to work on figuring out how we go to war with Sweden. It's gonna involve a naval invasion of some kind. Maybe if I'm lucky, Lithuania or Latvia will go ahead and make the invasion happen, and I can just land my troops over there. But I'll probably need to plan some kind of a naval invasion once I get all my troops in position. In the meantime, we'll get all our air power going, and that'll really be about all I can do. So it's August of 2003. We've got a major naval battle going on. I've sent my main fleet down into the Baltic Sea to kind of deal with the enemy here, and it's going pretty well. I think we'll wipe out any semblance of a fleet that the Swedes might have had. We can see here I already took out 8 of his destroyers and a submarine in the first battle, and we've got one that continues to go on. So I'm patrolling these waters now. Hopefully at some point Latvia goes ahead and makes a crossing of some kind, because it looks like he's getting ready to, or Lithuania maybe. And then I'll just cross over as soon as they land over there. Another major battle going on here. We're going to wipe out this navy. I think we should pretty well have naval superiority at this point. We do. So the landing has occurred. So I'm going to go ahead and send one of my 24 division armies over there to help reinforce. Sweden literally has 1 division. No, they have 2 now. 2 divisions in their army. So it's really just a matter of taking the territory. So we're rushing over here to help out. And we'll just quickly take that territory, and that'll be the end of Sweden as we know it. Then it'll just be a matter of dividing it up. Another naval battle happening here. And at that point, it's all about building up and preparing for the big wars. Right now I have 117 divisions. I want to be at least at 200 before I go to war with anybody who's a part of NATO or any other army for that matter. So we'll see how that all goes. But we're just going to go ahead and take out Sweden. Well, there we have it. It's September 30th, 2003, and Sweden is out. So now we get to divide up Estonia and Sweden. I would really prefer just to keep Estonia for myself, so I'm going to go that route. And then we'll let others take what they want. I don't think we're in a place yet to take a whole lot of Sweden. I'm going to kind of keep myself down here to the edge. 37, that's not really a lot there. Yeah, we'll take the... Nah, you know what? I don't really want the island. Try to keep all my territory together that I take as best I can. Yeah, I think I'm good. We'll let them take the rest. So that's a nice little bit of, oh, it looks like they puppeted Sweden. So Sweden continues to exist, but of course now they are part of my faction, and they are the People's Republic of Sweden. Very interesting. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and I think maybe we'll just go ahead and leave that army right there, and we'll kind of go from there. Man, I feel so used. Lithuania just left our faction. It was like they only wanted me to help them win their war, and then they were out. Oh man. Oh well, I'm just kind of dealing with my armies at the moment here. Just getting everybody back where I want them. I'm going to throw these guys on the border with Poland. So now I've got 28 divisions that are part of the Scandinavian Occupation Force. They're basically parked down here at the southern tip of Sweden, which will make a really nice invasion force into Denmark if it comes to that at some point. But for now, we're just going to kind of park them all there as a garrison force. Probably need to build up their infrastructure, and then even maybe the naval port over there, just to kind of make supplies a little easier to come by, because it looks like we're kind of short on supplies. So there's modernize the military. That's kind of the tree we're working down now with the national focus. We'll just continue down this path, I guess. Why am I on Uzbekistan's focus tree? Okay, let's go back to ours. Thank you very much. Wondered why it looked a little different. All right, we're going to focus on the Air Force for now. Nah, we'll go Army. So let's take a look real quick at where Italy is right now with their Communist Party. Their elections aren't until 2006. I'm not sure I want to wait that long for the Communists to take over. They're at 37% now. At some point, we'll probably go ahead and stage a coup there to help them with that. I just got to figure out some way to get forces there to help out with that coup. I'll probably have to park some down here in Crimea that I can transport over and land somewhere when the time comes. So let's go ahead and take a look at where we can do that. So we'll do a communist coup. I don't know, let's do that in Sicily. How about that? That's a great place to start. See how long that's going to take. December 2004, so about a year, my goodness. And of course that takes a long time with the political points. You spend a lot of political points to stage a coup. It's a half every day, plus the 0.25 every day that I'm using to boost their ideology. I'm still gaining, so that's good. I just can't be going trying to stage coups in multiple locations at the same time. So we're in January 2004 now. I've got 176 air experience. I'm going to use some of those to upgrade myself to the latest multi-role fighter. And so we're going to expand everything: range, max speed, air attack. Let's boost up that reliability a little bit. I don't like that where that is. So at least it'll stay right where it is, even with the changes I'm making. So this is going to be the Mark 1 version of that same multi-role fighter. We're not producing a lot of them, but that'll kind of keep going eventually here. I'm producing some more military factories right now in some of my places with my best infrastructure. And we're continuing to watch what's happening in Italy, where we are now about 11 months away from the coup being ready. And the Communist Party is up to 41% popularity now. So we have a pretty good chunk of the people that are in favor of that. I'm going to have to start positioning an army so I can get them down there. I wish I could just get somebody to let me have military access and I could drive right through, but that's just not the way it's going to be. Almost the end of February 2004. I'm looking for more things I can spend my political points on. I'm looking at improving relations opinion by 30%. I think that may be the way I want to go. I want to continue trying to work on being able to get more people on my side without having to use my military to do it. Speaking of military, I've gone ahead and created a army called Italian Coup Support. One problem I have: Greece and Turkey are in NATO, and I can't get my fleet through this region here. Excuse me. The Bosporus, the Dardanelles, they're just not going to let me do that. So I don't know how I'm going to get that army over there. They may have to come all the way around from this side to get there, and that's going to take some time. So I'm thinking, and I don't know how likely this is, but I'm wondering if it's possible for me to get Hungary and Poland to leave NATO by boosting my relationship with them. So I'm boosting my relationship with both of those nations, with the first step being doing the improved relationship, and then I'm going to do a non-aggression pact, which won't take much. I just got to turn it positive, and we're only at -10, so I think I can do enough there to turn that around. Once I do that, we'll see where things stand. We'll see how likely it is to get them to... Obviously, they're not going to leave my faction or join my faction, but I might be able to get them to leave NATO at the very least. So, I'm just trying some things. I've got the political points to spend, so we'll see what happens with all of that. I've also disconnected all of my Special Forces divisions from the rest of my armies, so I have them available as paratroopers. I don't know if I can fly over all these other countries to do that, but I'm just kind of keeping all of my options open to me so I can find out what I can do once this coup begins in Sicily. Timed activity lacks equipment, so I need to produce a little more. Now that we're into June of 2004, I'm actually thinking I'm going to lower taxes. So taking a look at this, moderate taxes gives me a 10% political power gain, 2% to monthly population. It hurts research time, and a 1% consumer goods factories. Going to low taxes is going to make the research time take a little longer, but that's not a huge deal to me right now. The bonuses to population and especially stability is what I'm after. So every 10 weeks, I'm going to get a 1% increase in stability. So that's going to add up over time and going to affect me in a lot of positive ways. So a communist nation with low taxes, kind of interesting. I'm also up to 8 nukes with 3 more every single year. And we're getting down toward it here. We're just a couple more months before we get to this coup in Italy. All right, here we go. It's going to be December 12th, and this coup is going to start in Italy. And the fire of revolution now burns. The Italian Union goes to war. The Italian Union declared war on Italy. Let's see if we can land some troops down there now. First things first, we're going to invite them to our faction. We're going to see what that does. That may put me at war with a whole lot of people, but we're going to find out soon enough. Next thing, I want to drop these. I want to get these special forces there as quickly as I possibly can. So let's go ahead and... Actually, we're going to add them. I think we'll just go ahead and add them to the Italian coup support, which I originally had planned for a naval invasion, but we obviously don't need to do that now. We've got North and South Italy covered. So let's get these troops there as quickly as we can. They are going to have to come the long way around, but I've got navies. I've put a bunch of my navies patrolling all of these waters, all the way from my ports in the north, all the way around the North Atlantic and into the Mediterranean. So I prepared for this. I'm going to land my troops. We're going to help win this coup. So we'll see what happens. Let's take a look at how this shakes out. Italy's got between 8 and 14 divisions. The The Italian Union's got 10, but backed by mine, they should have no trouble. It's a pretty even fight otherwise. A couple things I want to do here. One is I got to get some air power over there, so let's see how best to do that. We're going to send all of these air wings over to southern Italy and get them helping now. Hopefully this airbase doesn't get overrun before my troops get there. And it looks like they might, so that's a bit of a concern. We've got a naval fight going now. Maybe I'm better off moving these air wings down here to Palermo. Be a little safer there, I think. I gotta reissue all their orders. Air superiority. These are transport wings. Really kind of don't need them there. So let's move them back. Who else can we send? Here's a ton of fighter wings. I'm gonna send them down there. I'm hoping this is gonna be enough. Let's see where we are. 55%. We're gonna have to send some more yet. Man, I hope the Italian coup support is coming. It's coming. Hopefully it gets there in time to help out. It looks like so far Italy's winning this war, so we're going to have to get down there and turn the tide quickly. Meanwhile, other things are happening. Thankfully, so far, nobody has jumped in this war on the side of Italy. I was a little concerned that might happen. Now my main concern is that Sicily holds out long enough for me to get troops down there. These 22 divisions should be enough. Man, they're coming fast. Got to get these troops down here in a hurry. That is where I'm landing them, isn't it? In Sicily? Yeah, okay. Maybe I need to rethink where in Sicily they're landing. Got to get some more troops down here to help out with, or more fighter wings to get down here and help out with this. Looks like some of them came to this side. I'm actually going to send all of them down here too. What is this? This transport? Yeah, I think so. Alright. Where's my forces? We need to get them there quickly. Come on, guys. It's 22 divisions, but man, am I desperate for them to get there because the coup is going really badly right now for the communist forces. The only way they've got a chance is if I get there quickly. Come on, guys. They may overrun my landing zone before I get there. Here we go, here we go. Alright. Get them there, get them there, get them there. Are you serious? Come on, guys. Whew, okay. So my troops are there. Now we build a front line. And now we start pushing back. I think we're probably... Oh, supplies are an issue. Of course they are. And the organization's getting up. The organization was just down from the troop movement. They're going to be okay. I'm going to go ahead and land my special force. Oh, looks like my special forces are already given an order. That's a terrible order. Let's get them right here. Oh, I guess there's nothing I can do about that right now. Alright, guys. Let's get it moving. Why are we not moving across? Why can they not enter the province? Not entirely sure what's going on here. Do I have to declare war on these guys? Is that the problem? Okay, so at long last, I was able to get entered into this war, and I had to do a couple of things to make it happen. Number one is that... No, that's not what we want. First things first, I'll just kind of talk through this real quick first. In order to join their war and actually be able to fight, I had to have world tension over 50%. Well, obviously, it's only at 28, 29%. So I did the only thing I could think to do to drive up world tension, which was I started justifying a war against the United States. Once I did that, I got the world tension where I needed it to be. They invited me to join the war. I joined the war, and then immediately canceled my justification against the United States. So now we're back in a position where we're able to be in this fight. Hopefully we can turn the tide, because Italy had just about won that war against their communist coup. So now we're able to start pushing back. Once we break across the Mediterranean, get onto mainland Italy, I think we'll be able to start driving up pretty quickly and really start to make a difference. Let's see where things are at. I've lost 3,000 men. They've only got between 5 and 12 divisions. I've got twice that many just in the one army that I've sent into Italy. So I think I should be able to deal with this pretty well once we get across. So for the first time, I'm going to do what I've never had any trouble doing in this game. I'm going to drop a nuke on the defense here in southern Italy. Oh yeah, that should definitely soften things up a little bit. I'm also landing some paratroop divisions over here behind them, and I'm hoping that'll also help deal with the issue of getting across. Because once I break through here, I think we'll be good to go. So I think that'll do the trick. Are those British troops? And Chinese? Oh my goodness. So no wonder I'm having a little difficulty here. I didn't think the Brits and the Chinese were going to be sending troops to help out. All right, maybe I need to cancel this paratroop order because I've already overrun the drop zone, kind of like what happened in France and in Germany a couple of times, where the U.S. had paratroop invasions planned and overran the drop zone before the paratroopers could go in. All right, we're pushing back now. We've lost 13,000 men. We've inflicted 89,000 casualties on the Italians. All right, we're having a little trouble here again. Guess what that means? Time for another one. I have no trouble dropping nukes when the time calls for it. Obviously, in real life, I could never get away with this. There would be hell to pay and then some for doing such a thing, but this is not real life, so I can get away with it. And you can see it's doing the trick. I'm much more easily overrunning these areas. I don't know what's going on with the orders, so we're going to have to reissue. First things first, I want to overrun Naples. So let's start pushing forward. We'll push down into this boot, and we'll start pushing our way up. We'll see where things are. Once I take Rome, I think I should be in pretty good shape. All right, he's down to just 4 to 8 divisions. I'm really surprised China is defending him in a communist coup. All right, we're just about there. We'll have to push these guys down. He's only got about 30,000 men left. So it's really just a matter of pushing out the others. Let's go ahead and draw a new offensive line. All right, somebody's got to go in and deal with the rest of these guys. Once we do that, then we can rush everybody else up to the front. ahead and let that finish up. As soon as they take these guys out, we'll issue new orders and we'll overrun Rome. A couple of nukes is all it took, really. Alright, time for new orders. New front line. We're going to push our way all the way up the peninsula. I don't know how far I'm going to have to go to take him out. I would think Rome would do it, but maybe not. He's only got 10,000 men left. Oh, now China wants to send volunteers. Okay. I don't think I'm going to need them. Now the real question here becomes, do I just conquer Italy or do I puppet them? I feel like I want to just puppet them, but I also feel like maybe they might not be too great of an ally when the time comes. So, but yeah, I'm kind of leaning in that direction. I think puppet is the way I'm going to go with this. I've got a lot of stuff I've got to clean up and kind of reorganize once this war's over. Let's see where we're at. All right, we're just about there. We're probably going to need to take Venice. Maybe Milan, which is their capital now. Let's go ahead and march up there and just take those two places, and I think that should do it for the war. Alright, I think that's going to do it. No, not quite. Okay. How about Venice? Oh yeah, the 11 divisions from China have arrived in St. Petersburg. That doesn't really do me a lot of good. Alright, here we go. Oh, that's right. I don't have to do anything because the Italian Union is who I was fighting for. So now we have a communist nation that is in my faction in Southern Europe. So that's a big, big deal. I think that's really going to help things out moving forward. Now we start putting pressure on some of these other nations. All right, so that wasn't the smoothest thing in the world, but we got it done. So I'm going to wrap it up right there. This episode went longer than I expected it to. As always, I welcome your input, your comments, your questions, your suggestions, and we'll see what happens from here. So, like I said, check out the link below if you need to catch up and see the first 3 episodes of the series. We'll do one about every 3 to 4 days or so until I feel like I've conquered about as much as I can do. So we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.